I'm trying 4 new textures. I hope you stick around. Okay, so I have a 3-pound cylinder that I'm going to sodium silicate texture. And I have this bird netting, and I'd like to see if I can wrap this around the vessel and expand into it. Not sure it'll work. Well, I have a feeling I'm not going to get a perfect grid like I kind of was hoping I could. I also thought initially I might stitch this on, but give me a break. I don't want to deal with stitching, so we're going to use little binder clips. Now I have tried this before, not with this type of bird netting, but something a little more heavy duty. And one of the problems I had, I did the binder clip thing, it adds it almost makes it seem like it puts the weight off center. You know, these things are spinning around. I'm going to use this so I don't have to put my hand in there. Let's see what happens. If I take my time, I'm going to expand it a couple times. I don't want to be real aggressive just in one shot. That looks pretty good, all the way around there. I wish it was a little more expanded in towards the top. Let me see if I can stretch that in. Well, I have a feeling that's about as good as we're going to get. Kind of weak. Well, that looks good. Still kind of weak up top. One thing I'm noticing is that I can feel this spot right here where there's not a lot of texture. Not sure how to deal with that next time, but it's the spot where I had the pinchies. Didn't really make the texture as deep, and you can feel kind of a bump, 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 bump as your tool goes past this part on the inside. It just feels different, which is going to put a wobble in this. Let's see how far we can go. Well, that is interesting looking for sure. I don't like it. I really do wish it went all the way around though. But I'm not sure how far I'm going to be able to push this before it really starts getting funky. But I'll go till it either looks good or till it fails. Well, if the whole pot wasn't crooked, kind of looked like this, I think it wouldn't look bad. You can see I put enough sodium silicate on, I let it really dry, where it kept these squares almost completely intact. Yeah, I mean, you get up here, you can see it's obviously alligatoring, but these, you can see the squares are almost wanting to pop off. I kind of like that tile look, but this is pretty wonky. So I'm trying to think how I can make even lines all the way around. That netting clearly didn't work, and it made the expansion really difficult. So I have this thing. I'm sure you know what it is. I'm not sure I do. Maybe I don't know, for cutting pasta or something. I'm not sure. One of these jobbers though, and maybe that. This is going to be a pretty tight pattern. I wish every other one was missing, but we can try this. And if I like it, maybe I'll make myself one with wider spaced wheels, but so let's give it a try. Well, the wheels aren't spinning. I'm not sure I expected them to. And you can see it's not going to be even. I'll just go for it. Well, I guess that'll have to be what it is. Now let's see if we can do a crosshatch. Well, that's interesting. I really thought initially I was going to just carve this up with a needle tool, but I was really worried that one groove might be shallow and the next be really thick, and the moment I expand it, it starts to really open on the deep ones and needs to be even. So, but this may work. Let me go get some sodium silicate on it, see what it does. Okay, the sodium silicate's dry. Let's see if we can expand this and see what happens. Well, if that's about as much as I can get out of it, I'm worried it's going to start getting too thin. But I think overall it looks pretty good. Still feel like I want this a little bit more open. I'm debating whether I want to take a tool in and actually carve away the final little crack remnants to give myself a clean break. And I don't want to get water all over either. I'm trying to be very careful to just wet this rim. There. I think it looks pretty good just like that. I'm going to see if I can get a little more stretch out of it. But we could lose it, so I wanted you to see it before I possibly ruined it. So. Starting to get a little wonky. It would be nice to get this up here a little more out. Let's see if we can do that. Can you tell? Deep cuts, give you the profile there. Deep cuts open differently than small cuts, and the more you push it and the more it thins, and you can feel it on the inside. It's kind of a bump, 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 bump. The thinner it gets, the more potentially wonky it's gonna get. So I feel like I'm probably already past that point, but I'm gonna see if I can get this top here to blend in. The profile I don't really like. Well, can see here I've already had this little bit crack through the rim. So these cracks are getting deep enough to start failing. I should probably stop right here. And because it is kind of dry on the outside, it's dry enough where I can touch it without it sticking to my fingers. I do have one opportunity here to maybe push this around ever so gently before I call it good. So on this pot I'm going to try two different texture tools. I'm going to use this V, like a, hopefully I can make something like a scale type pattern, and then I'm going to use this sharpened pipe to make circles. So let's see what that does. I think that actually doesn't look too bad. I'm not sure I really care for this action here. The tool didn't really cut a sharp line. It seems like the key is any place you can get a sharp line cut via scratches or whatever seems to look a little better, but a little bit weird, but I think overall it's kind of interesting. So I wouldn't call that a fail. Well, I hope that was interesting. Leave me a comment. Thanks again.